All right, guys, welcome to the Omega Sports Show. I am Dell with Omega Sports, and we are live on Facebook and YouTube, and we have got the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, North Carolina star with us today, Megan Nichols from NC Eat and Play. Hello, Megan.
That's quite the setup. Hello.
Well, it's a setup that you are well deserving of. Of course, Megan, with NC Eat and Play, you are, I think we said in one of our pre-posts that you reach almost 300,000 people every single day with great foodie photos and kind of activity photos that you're out there living life to the largest.
Yep. It's a really fun time, and it's wild to hear that number out loud, but it is. It's great.
Yeah. And of course, Omega Sports was with you way back when.
Yep.
In the beginning, when you were just starting out, we said, wow, you're really doing something special. So, of course, I want to make sure everyone knows it's at NC Eat and Play on Instagram. Of course, you can find her on Facebook as well. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, in TikTok world, you're like the top North Carolinian out there blowing up on TikTok with over 200,000 plus people watching your videos.
Yeah, TikTok is a wild ride, but it's fun, and it's fun to grow so fast.
Yeah, well, if you guys are familiar with NC Eat and Play, it's because you know there's this amazing foodie photography that Megan does. You know that there are all these fun adventures, these great giveaways that she has on her page, and we're just thrilled to have you here today with us, Megan.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I feel like we've been trying to do this for a long time, so I'm excited.
We definitely have. And just recently, this is like, it's weird how timing worked out because we booked you for the show today months ago, and we actually ended up having a cool little moment with you over the weekend. And we weren't actually there, but we helped gear you and your husband, Harrison, and your children up for a fun adventure in the mountains. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we went to the mountains this past weekend, and we had a really great time. And Omega Sports kind of hooked us up with some awesome gear, especially for Harrison, who's the big outdoor play enthusiast on our platform. We got some On running shoes, which is one of our very favorite running brands. So we were super excited to find out that they had trail shoes. Remind me, is it Cloud?
It's called the Cloud Venture.
Cloud Venture.
You want to hold up? Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me pull that up. So they did let's see. Can you see?
There's Harrison and Dean.
We got those awesome trail shoes. We got a sand cloud blanket, which was perfect for picnicking. Gooder sunglasses.
Look at that. Look at those Gooders.
Look at those
Harrison
Gooders.
is made for Gooders.
He is. He looks gooder in Gooders.
I like how you moved the phone into the screen just so we could see the beautiful mountainscape you captured in those Gooders.
Thank you for noticing.
Well, so you guys had a good time in the mountain, right?
Yeah, we did. It was so much fun. We went to Maggie Valley, which is a really small, it's the perfect place to go if you're looking for an authentic mountain town experience. I feel like it has not changed in decades, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, well, we're thrilled that over Memorial Day when we were to share a little bit of a fun moment with you. I know the Sand Cloud, the Gooder sunglasses, those patriotic ones, were flying off the shelves, and we had to like literally secure them for you so that you have them for the week.
And I'm so grateful.
And of course, I know Harrison's getting some mileage out of his Cloud Ventures from On running. So.
Yep. Those will be used for a long time. He loved them.
Yeah, and then a big shout out to the local t-shirt designer Stay Stranded, which also like captured the moment perfectly. I don't know if anyone, you'll have to go to NC Eat and Play's Instagram page to see the wonderful Stay Stranded hiking tee that we geared up. There you go. I have to say, Megan, like that shirt with that background that's like marketing gold right there.
Right? I was pretty proud of myself on that one.
Yeah. Well, of course, today, Megan, we have you here because we want to talk about how you got your art, kind of why you are so passionate about helping locals get connected to local businesses like Omega Sports local restaurants, and local things to do so that people can stay active. That's really, part of what I know we fell in love with your brand early on. And then, of course, you've just like took off big time. So we're here to talk about that. And then, of course, we've got some questions from some of our customers, and we may have some questions coming in as well on Facebook and YouTube. So we're gonna go ahead and get to that in a second. But first, before we transition to that, I always usually kick people off the screen so I can talk about Omega News. But because I know you're a big fan of Omega and you are in See Eat and Play, I can't just kick you off the screen.
I'll stay.
Okay. So big news for all of our Omega Sports fans that are out there. If you love active play, this is your weekend. This is your week to get to Omega Sports so you can take advantage of our double mega rewards. Now, if you're not familiar with our mega rewards, I like to call them fast rewards, because at Omega Sports, you actually get $5 for every 50 you spend. So what does that mean, Megan, if we go and double it up? That means you're going to get $10 on every 50 that you spend at Omega Sports. So if you are saying, you know what, I love those glasses that Harrison was repping over the weekend. I want some Gooders. I want to get some Cloud Ventures. I want to get that blanket that everyone keeps talking about called Sand Cloud, where the debris and the sand and the dirt just come immediately off. You just shake it out. You can go to Omega Sports and you can make your money go further with our double rewards week. So we have double rewards days going on until June 8th. So that's our big news today. And then, of course, I'm not trying to put you in an awkward situation here, Megan, but it is Father's Day coming up. And for all of our sports family and fans out there, we do have we do have Garmin watches available on sale right now. So all that running and all that hiking that Harrison's doing, he can start calculating and getting his data kind of real time. So for all the fathers that are out there and all the spouses and loved ones that are going to, really gear up Father's Day this year, definitely make sure you're checking out our Garmin sale at Omega Sports.
Will do.
All right, I won't make you feel any more awkward than that.
I'm not sure I believe you.
I do want to let you know that Harrison is the one that texted me to say, make sure I mention the Garmin.
Oh, okay.
Yep. All right. So that's our Omega News. So now I want to transition and do the real hard-hitting interview that I have planned for you today. But before I do that, I want to go way back when, which is, of course, not the way you normally say that, right? What's the Instagram way of doing it?
Way back Wednesday.
Not Thursday.
Way back Wednesday.
There you go. See, an Instagram influencer taught me to make sure I say it correctly. The way back Wednesday moment.
Way back Wednesday.
We started with you. We actually brought a camera crew out to tell your story. So I want to start there and then pick up the journey after that. Okay. All right, let's start with the video.
So I'm Megan, and I started in See Eat and Play, and that's my husband Harrison and my son Dean. I was born and raised in North Carolina, and so was my husband. I'm actually a 13th generation North Carolinian. I grew up hearing about my great-grandfather that had a barbecue restaurant, and I had another one that was a bluegrass singer called the Singing Farmer. Or we'd drive by a place, my parents would say, hey, that's where your grandparents had their first date. So I kind of have like deep roots in North Carolina. I've always loved it. And Harrison and I met when we were teenagers, and we ended up getting married, and we kind of had that wanderlust that I feel like everybody has, that desire to travel the world and see new things and try new things. But we were a young married couple and couldn't really afford much. And we ended up moving out of state for a few years while he went to school out of state. And I think that was really the moment where we realized that we weren't really taking advantage of everything that North Carolina had to offer, because when we were living somewhere else, it just didn't have the aspects that felt like home, like the things that made North Carolina home. And so we came back as soon as we could, and we've been back for a while now, and we just really wanted to hold ourselves accountable and really try to take advantage of everything that North Carolina has to offer. And I feel like that's why I made the page, was first of all to hold myself accountable and really encourage my little family to explore more, but also I really want to encourage other people to explore more and kind of show them that you don't have to have a lot of money, that you don't have to like cross oceans to explore. Like there's so much to explore in our own backyard. And I just want people to realize and like want to live right now. And I want to influence them, you know, go try the new bakery that just opened around the corner, or like call your friend up and drive through the night to catch the sunrise at the beach, or go hike that mountain. There's just so much that North Carolina has to offer, and I feel like we miss a lot of it by wishing that we could just go somewhere else. So I've had my page for probably about 4 or 5 months now, and it's been growing really quickly, and I feel like it's kind of exciting to see how much people enjoy learning about their community and stuff. And I'd say the most rewarding part for me has, first of all, just been the fun that I've been having with my family and encouraging other people to do the same and to really like live in the moment. But also, I think one of the most rewarding parts is getting to know the people behind these small businesses that are popping up in North Carolina. I feel like we live in a really great time where people are supporting small businesses more, and I feel like I've gotten to know a lot of the people that put their heart and soul into their restaurants, into their small businesses, and it shows. And I love being able to support them and learn about their stories and share that with other people. So I grew up in Wake Forest, and Harrison grew up in Raleigh. And now that we're older and we grew up, we thought it would be good to venture outside of Raleigh and kind of see what else the state has to offer. And that's why we love Morrisville, is we're still close to all of that fun stuff, but Morrisville just feels so family friendly, and it's growing and it's booming. And as a family, we love to go out and explore all the parks and the greenways, which I feel like this area has a lot of. It's really great that we do have such an awesome neighborhood sports store like Omega to go to get properly fitted. And there's like a really personal connection, and I know that we're in good hands.
What a great way back moment, Megan.
Oh, that took me back. I haven't watched it in a while.
So that was like, when I say that was early on, you'd only had your Instagram page for a handful of months, and it was so funny to see your phone up there that showed like 4,800 really motivated locals following you. And now you're about to like hit the 30,000 mark.
Yeah, it's wild. It is. That I remember that day really, really clearly, because Omega Sports was the first major brand to kind of give me a break and felt like they really saw the value in what I was doing. And I was just so excited to be there. It was so fun.
I love that you say that you're excited. I also remember you being very, very nervous.
Oh yeah. I can hear it in my voice in the video.
But I love what you said. I mean, I think being that local wanderluster has really set you up for success. That's what we loved about your story. And Allison over there in your comment says, great video. Thank you, Allison.
Hi, Allison.
Thanks for watching us today. But really, that sets you up for really, I think, the heartbeat of your brand with NC in Play. It really is about, you don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to go out there and, you know, try to accomplish too much. It's really just taking every adventure, every new restaurant, every new opportunity to support local, you know, just making it a point to do that every single chance you get.
Yep, exactly. I like that you said that's the heartbeat of what I've built, and it totally is just that local wanderlust. And to be honest, I think you might have coined that phrase for me, and I love it. It's the perfect description.
Yeah, well, so much has changed. So, you know, we saw you with your young family, and then of course you have a new son. You know, so what we didn't know is that you'd be not only growing a new brand that has such influence in our state, but you were growing more of a family.
Yes, growing a whole human. Yeah, it's changed a lot from my platform behind the scenes. Just the amount of effort that I have to put into it, being a mom of two and growing my brand, but it's also made it even more rewarding because my children are probably my biggest motivation behind this and wanting to show them how they can enjoy life exactly where they are. So on one hand, it's made it harder, and on the other hand, it's made it more rewarding. So it's been neat.
Yeah, well, I want to give you kudos for, taking the brand from what could easily be a hobby on social media into now a livelihood. I mean, you're thriving. You're in demand. I know, I'm going to just brag for you. You've got not only Mega Sports, you've got Biscuitville, you've Cheerwine, you've got some big major North Carolina brands. Really, I've heard it from a lot of the leaders in marketing saying that you're doing something very special that connects with people in a way that most marketers have not been able to find.
Thank you. Yeah, I saw it coming, as in I really wanted this. I really wanted to create something real out of this, but it still feels surreal every day. I feel so grateful that I'm able to help provide for my family by doing something that I love. Not that it's not hard work, because it is, but it's rewarding and great work. And it is so much fun. And I'm able to do it with my family. It's been a huge, huge blessing.
Yeah. Well, and of course, we love seeing your family as well. So we want to give a shout out to your new baby boy, Cameron, who's also started to appear as well.
Yes, he's showing his face around a little bit more.
Yeah, Dean can't have all the limelight.
Nope, he's got to share now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know in the video that we just saw, we heard about you and your husband growing up in the area, growing up in the triangle, if you will, in Wake Forest. And of course, we were shooting there right outside of a Mega Sports in Morrisville, which of course, unfortunately, we closed since COVID. But of course, we're still in the triangle, thriving at North Hills. So what was really interesting when we met you is that you guys really do love getting out there and being active. Because of course, we knew you for food photography. We loved your foodie photos.
Exactly. And I think food is the easiest content to create. But we are huge on the play side too. And we're making an extra push this year to feature more of our adventures and outdoor play and activities in North Carolina. So that's been really fun. Of course, I'm always happy to be known for food, but we are pushing the play too. And that's going to be great.
Yeah. Well, take us back, since we watched a way back video, take us back to the beginning. Like, because I'm thinking if there's someone that can watch this and say, you know what, I want to start becoming a local wanderluster. What were some of the things that you and your husband and your family did to just kind of start?
Definitely free. We were definitely kind of, we were a young married couple with a small child at home. We didn't have the money to just be gallivanting across all the nice resorts and amusement parks and things like that. So we started free, just local greenways. I found so many amazing parks that I didn't even know were around the corner from my house. Got outside as much as possible. And then just, the little bakeries around the corner, like I said in the video, those kinds of things, just pull up Yelp and look at what other people are liking and go try it out. And I think one thing that made it even more meaningful at the time was the research that I would do before trying these places. So before going to try a restaurant, I was reading up on the chef and where he came from and his family migrating to the United States from, wherever they came from, and how he built what he has now. And it made the food so much more meaningful. And I feel like that is really what sparked the local wanderlust in me, is because we have so many stories and cultures right here. We're just not learning about them.
Yeah, many of us, we work and live and sometimes play where we're looked at, but then we try to get out of Dodge. We try to get out of town, go out and take on these, expensive adventures, and that's great. And there's no judgment if you do that. But I think what's interesting, especially during COVID last year, a lot of us could not travel, if any of us could travel. So, I'm interested to ask you, how did COVID, you're growing your brand, you were growing a family, how did COVID affect your business? It looks like you came out pretty good.
Yeah. So COVID was an interesting thing for creators. It was actually really good growth wise. I think a lot of people were at home and they really just had a lot of time to dedicate to learning about things in social media and kind of daydreaming about wanderlust, but knowing it would probably be a while before they could go far again. And I think it was a really good opportunity for people to just enjoy home, which is what my whole brand is all about. So I saw a lot of growth during COVID, and I think it was scary, but I think a lot of my fear came from the small business owners I had met during my time building this platform, and just worrying for them and their businesses. So the fear was more for other people, and I was able to grow my brand at the same time.
Yeah, I remember you being a very big vocal presence on social media, letting people know who was open, who was doing curbside delivery, and not just like, hey, here's a choice. You really told the story of that business owner so that people could connect with, those folks in a much more meaningful way. I mean, I know I can personally say, I remember I picked up probably 7 pounds worth of weight thanks to some great suggestions that you've made for great food that I could just have delivered or picked up.
Yeah. And I think that was really neat from my perspective to watch the way these businesses had to pivot. I think from some people, they just watch it happen and they're like, oh, that must be easy to just switch to curbside. But I was kind of seeing the behind the scenes and how they had to rework everything and they retrain their staff, rework how they were creating certain foods, and they did it. And so I'm just so proud of the local community, like supporting local at the time. I think people really came together, and I thought it was really neat to watch these businesses grow in new ways.
Yeah. And of course, you grew right along with them. You were on TikTok, and out of nowhere, I remember, I think you even started the brand without a Facebook page, and then you started hitting 10,000 and you started hitting bigger numbers. And then all of a sudden TikTok started taking off. And I was like, are we ever going to be able to work with you ever again? Because you're getting so large.
Always. And here I am talking to you.
Yes. Yep. All right. Well, I know that we talk about your love for going outdoors and having more active play out there. But really, I think what I love to hone in on is that since I'm a newcomer, pretty much over the last 5 years, I'm a newcomer to North Carolina. Like, why do you think so many newcomers are falling in love with North Carolina? Why are so many people moving out to North Carolina?
Honestly, I think North Carolina has everything. I know that's a bold statement, but I think no matter what people are looking for, North Carolina has it. If you're a beach person, we've got some of the best in the country. If you're a mountain person, we've got some of the best in the country. If you're a city person, we've got cities. If you're a small town person, we've got great small towns. So I think North Carolina truly around every corner has so much to make people happy and feel at home. And I think people are realizing that. And I think there's a reason that North Carolina is hitting all the tops of the lists for the best places to live.
Yeah. And I know we talk about your brand as a social media brand, but truly you have a lot of information and a lot of resources for both newcomers and for just local wanderlusters on your website, nceatandplay.com. Can you tell us a little bit more about like what's the future for nceatandplay.com? Where do you see that going, and how can people follow that growth as well?
nceatandplay.com has been really exciting to put more emphasis on it. It's something very tangible and real that's all mine, and I love that. And so we're making a big push for nceatandplay.com. You're going to find a lot of guides, helpful guides, some of my favorites, behind the scenes, things that I can't fit into a little Instagram square. We also have a really cool new channel called the Realtor channel for all the awesome newcomers that are coming into the area. Me and Allison W of the W Group, we work really hard to put out great content for people that are moving to the area to help them fall in love with their home. Just basically everything is on nceatandplay.com, and you can check it out. You can subscribe to our newsletter. That's the biggest thing. We send out a weekly newsletter, and you get awesome ideas for the weekend delivered straight to your inbox. So
yes, I'm a subscriber. I get the Indulge with Megan email every Thursday.
Yes. I'm a big fan of indulging.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and take some customer questions, Megan.
Okay.
Are you ready for some customer questions?
I'm ready.
of course, you get questions all the time. I'm sure in social media, people are asking you for tips and advice and how do you check out this? Have you tried this before? I mean, does it ever get too tiring for you?
Oh yeah. I have my message request folder on Instagram is at well over 100 messages, and I have to work my way through it very slowly. So I'm always grateful for these opportunities when I can answer, and a lot of people hear the answer instead of having to work my way through the little list.
Yeah, well, that's why we got them. So, all right, let's start with, we've got a question here. Kara from Cary says, what are your go-to places for the Outer Banks? Looks like Kara wants to get out of town.
The Outer Banks is a good place to go. Actually, on nceatandplay.com, if you go to Eat and the Coast section, I've got a whole guide about where to eat in the Outer Banks, my favorite places. So you can definitely check it out there. But just to give you a few little sneak peek answers, Tortuga's Lie is one of my favorite restaurants in the whole state, and that's in the Outer Banks. Donuts on a Stick is incredible dessert that a lot of people look over. I would say it's a really good hidden gem. And then Barrier Island bagels are some of the best around.
See, that's what I love about the type of information you provide. Like, it's not just like you would have expected like a list of just seafood places.
Right.
But I love that you're like thinking of like, the brunch, you're thinking about like the bagels, you're thinking about donuts. I mean, you're my kind of traveler.
Thank you. But if anybody wants seafood, I love Captain George's. All you can eat crab legs.
I've put in a lot of mileage at Captain George's.
Same. I'm like a machine.
For everybody out there, especially newcomers, if you're not familiar with Captain George's and you like crab legs, you need to make sure you check out Captain George's. We should check on them and see how they're doing post-COVID.
Yeah, we should.
All right, so let's go to the next question. Okay. Melissa from Greensboro wants to know, I'm sure you get this question a lot. Where's your favorite barbecue restaurant?
Oh, I do almost every day. And let me tell you, that is a loaded question. North Carolina is barbecue paradise, but everybody means something different when they talk about barbecue. There's Lexington style and there's Eastern. I'm a big Eastern girl. My great-grandfather had an Eastern barbecue restaurant called Hill's Barbecue. And so we are big on Eastern. And as for Eastern, I think Skylight Inn in Ayden is on its best day, it's some of the best food I've ever had, ever. Also, his son, Sam Jones, just opened a spot in Raleigh. So very similar food, delicious. Also, Marty's and Wilson. Love those barbecue spots. And then if you're talking Lexington, honestly, one of the only spots I've tried is Stamey's in Greensboro, but I absolutely love Stamey's. I think it is amazing.
So just so you know, Stamey's is right down the road from our corporate office. It's from our flagship store in Greensboro, and Stamey's is definitely one of our choices. I don't know if I knew the difference between Eastern and Lexington, but I will say a big shout out to Stamey's.
Yes, Stamey's is delicious. Here's a little hint. If your slaw is red, you're eating Lexington style. If your slaw is white, you're eating Eastern.
It's all about the slaw.
All about the slaw. Well, it's a lot more than the slaw, but that's a good
to know. Well, good to know. All right, let's go to the next question. It says, it looks like a fan. Tori from Raleigh. Love your page. Big fan. How did you learn food photography? Oh, that's a good question.
So mostly self-taught, to be honest. I've never taken any courses or anything like that. Most of it has been trial and error and just learning what looks delicious, what I want to see people do. And honestly, I actually have a little guide on my website, don't I? iPhone foodie tips from Megan on my website. And that's where I kind of put all my best tips in one place so that you don't have to learn through trial and error like I did. But it's been a fun time. You can do a lot with your iPhone. You can do it with your camera. I think the biggest thing is having really good light and just trying to make the food look as delicious as possible.
I'm going to have to check out that guide because I love taking photos of my food, but I don't think people love seeing the photos of the food that I take.
You'll get there.
I'll have to check out that guide. All right. It looks like we have one last question. Johnny from Charlotte says, any plans to come to Charlotte for a A food tour. Ooh, we've got 2 stores in Charlotte, Megan. Maybe we should make this an Omega food tour.
Ooh, Megan Foods Tour.
Oh, Megan.
Oh, Megan. Yeah, I like it. Yes, I am actually planning to come very soon to Charlotte. Charlotte is it's called the Queen City for a reason. It's got some of the best food in the state, and I have already found a few favorites. Goodyear House, Cabo Fish Taco, but I've got a lot on the list, so I can't wait to go. I'm planning to go very soon, so keep an eye out for that.
Well, that's awesome. All right. Well, I've got the last question.
Okay.
I want to know what don't people know when it comes to running a brand like NC Eat and Play? Like, what's the one thing that people just don't realize when it comes to doing what you do?
I think how you mentioned earlier that I've taken it from a hobby into a livelihood. And I think that some people still think it's a hobby where I just walk around snapping pictures of food and upload it. But there's a lot of work that goes into what I do. I spend hours and hours on my content and building my business. And it's truly because I just want people to enjoy where they live. And it's been a great thing to be able to make money off of it and to help support my family. But my biggest goal is to help people learn to love where they live, especially North Carolina. And so yeah, it's a lot of hard work. It is. And if I don't respond to your messages as fast as you'd like, I'm sorry. But it is. It's a great time. And I just want people to enjoy and live life where they are right now.
Well, that's awesome. So just as a recap, I want to just let everyone know it's nceatandplay.com is your website. And of course, people follow you on Instagram for the same handle at NC Eat and Play. And then, of course, you mentioned you have a newsletter that you send out with these adventures for the weekend that come out every Thursday. Of course, people can sign up for that newsletter. They can go to your Instagram page and click in a link, or go to your website and obviously sign up as well. And what I heard, which of course Omega Sports is very excited about, is the fact that it's always going to have food, but it's going to have even more play this year.
Yep, making a big push.
Well, very good. Well, I'm sure we'll see Harrison. We'll see you out there, both your son Dean and Cameron,
yep.
as you know, they grow up and they get to enjoy loving the area that they live in.
Yep. I'm excited.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you the last word. Is there anything else that you want to share?
No, just that I'm grateful to be here. I love North Carolina. I love Omega Sports, and I'm ready to play more.
There you go. Play more. Perfect way to end it. There you go. All right. Well, Megan, I know you've got your brother babysitting the two young ones now. I'm going to give you back to your kids so that you can get back to taking care of them. And I want to thank you for spending this Wednesday afternoon with us.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a good one.
See ya.
All right. Well, I want to once again just thank Megan. Again, I wasn't lying when I said it took months and months of planning to make sure that we could get her on the show. As a busy, thriving brand and obviously a mom of 2 young kids, it's been a lot to schedule and coordinate, but we're super happy to have her join us today. Remember our Omega News, it is double rewards week this week. So if you are an Omega Sports shopper, which I hope you are, you're going to save more by spending more. So if you're spending money, just know that your money's going further because this week you're going to get double the rewards. So instead of $5 on every 50 you spend, you're going to get $10 on every 50 that you spend. And that, of course, goes to your next purchase. So if you want a pair of shoes, if you want to, shop for Father's Day, get some stuff for yourself, get that cash back, and then go out and buy something for Father's Day this upcoming couple of weeks here, upcoming holiday. All right. You guys have a great day. Thanks for joining us. This is Del from Omega Sports. Have a great, active week.